Hello witches, welcome back to the channel. This is Hekterios. Welcome to all the new subscribers and the new viewers. Thanks for watching. This is going to be my last video of the day, I think. And I want to talk about spiritual attachments. This is something that always comes up around this time of the year, so I figured I might as well do a video about it. And that way I can answer many people their questions all at once. So, spiritual attachments. Before we get to discussing spiritual attachments, I want to clarify what are spirits. Spirits are their consciousness. Their consciousnesses. So they can come in many forms. Spirits can come to you as thoughts that come into your mind. Okay, that can be spirits. And I'll even go further to say that it is a spirit, because any thought that comes to you comes from consciousness, and anything that has consciousness is a spirit. So, the vast majority of your thoughts are actually from spirits. They're not just your own. So you have to be aware of this as you get into these practices, that a lot of spirit communication is happening in your head all the time. You just may not realize it. And as you're getting into these practices, a major goal is becoming more conscious and becoming more aware of what's already happening. Everyone does magic. Everyone interacts with spirits all the time. It's actually the natural state of a human being. It's part of life. It's part of being alive that, there's magic and there's spirits. But, of course, this knowledge has been suppressed, it has been lost, it has been etc. over the past millennia. So when you're coming into these practices, what you're doing is you're relearning it, or you're learning what's already happening, what's already taken place. Okay? It's not so much that you're learning how to communicate with spirits or how to do magic. You're just learning how it works and how to master it, how to control it. Okay? That's why a lot of people who start learning magic have this feeling like, I already knew this, I've already been doing this, only now I'm learning what it is that I've been doing this whole time. Okay, that's really actually how it is. Everyone does magic, everyone interacts with spirits, but you may or may not be conscious of it and aware of it. Okay, so spirits are consciousness that is non-physical, disincarnate. Okay? Consciousness exists whether or not it is in a physical body. Whether or not it has ever been in a physical body, consciousness exists and spirits exist. Most of us have many, many spirits. And once again, I'll even go further to say, everyone has many spirits. Because that's the nature of consciousness, that it's not just one thing, it's a lot. This is basic hermetics, that the miracle of the one thing. Everything is one, as above, so below, as within, so without. You are not just your own soul spirit. You are actually daily embodying multiple consciousnesses and multiple spirits at the same time that you are yourself. Okay? Because everything is one, everything is connected. You are not really separate. You're part of it. So it's part of you. All those spirits, all those other consciousnesses, they're part of you. And so this is why a lot of people experience this and they're not aware of it, because you're just born this way and it's just natural. It's what is. So if you don't have anyone teaching you that these are other spirits and that you're connected to, that are in your consciousness, then you're not going to know what's happening, and you're just going to think that this is the natural state and it's just you. It's not other spirits. It's just your own consciousness. But really, it is other spirits, and it's just so deeply ingrained in the human experience of being one, that you don't even realize that these different thoughts that are coming through your mind are actually coming from other spirits. That's what spirits are. That's how spirits work to a large degree. And I just kind of wanted to gloss over that briefly but concisely as it may be, so that you could understand this perspective. Now, when we're talking about spiritual attachments, this is when certain spirits, certain consciousnesses attach to you. And I'm mostly going to cover the negative aspect of this, because that's mostly what people ask about or are concerned about when they're talking about spiritual attachments. So everyone has spirits. Everyone that you know, including yourself, has multiple spirits with them. Okay? It's just the way that it works. All right? We all have spirits. We all have multiple spirits. And some people have negative spirits. Now, I don't want to get too much into polarizing this as good or evil spirits or black and white spirits, because that's not how this works. For me, my ancestral spirits are good to me. If someone is attacking me and my ancestral spirits defend me and harm that person, then to that other person, my ancestral spirits, are an enemy. Something to view as bad to them, or evil, because it's harming them. So that's how this stuff works. It's very much based on the personal relationship that you have to spirits, and whether they're harming or helping you. So I'm not going to characterize spirits are good as evil and stuff like that, but there is negative attachments, and once again, that's going to be defined by your personal experience. So many people have negative spirits attached to them. And, I kind of want to cover protecting yourself from this type of thing. So that was really the main point of why I started doing this video, because that's the kind of question I get in my inbox all the time on this topic. A lot of the negative spirits that are harming you, they come in to your life through other people. And it could have nothing to do with that person's intentions, but because they have spirits that are attached to them, that's just how it works. So if you know somebody and that person has multiple spirits attached to them, and some of those spirits can be harmful to you, and it could have nothing to do with that person's intentions. It's just how it works. They could have spirits that will feed on you or will harm you in some kind of a way. And those spirits enter your life through your interaction with that person. Okay? So, this is most obvious with people who are negative type of people. They're just bad people. They do negative shit and stuff to you physically. Then a lot of times those people have evil spirits attached to them, or baneful spirits, negative spirits attached to them. For the sake of this discussion, I am going to say evil spirits and negative spirits and stuff like that. But just know that it's not really characterized as such polarized views of it. Because sometimes you do want to work with an evil spirit if you're trying to do something evil, So, don't view it in a polarized way when I say this. But a lot of times, evil spirits, harmful spirits to you, will enter your life through other people that have those spiritual attachments to them. Okay? So, I'm sorry, I keep adjusting myself, but this chair is kind of getting uncomfortable now that I'm on my third video recording here. But, let me focus for a minute so I can communicate this properly. I kind of want to just talk about the signs of this real quick. The signs that someone has a negative spiritual attachment. It will be very obvious in that person's demeanor, in that person's character, in that person's words and deeds and actions. It will be very obvious that they have some kind of a negative spiritual attachment. It's influencing them to be and act and do certain things and be in a certain way. And that'll be demonstrated in their behavior. And so based on someone's behavior, how they act, what they do, what they say, you can then discern if they have negative spirits or good spirits, positive spirits, or baneful spirits. Because once again, everybody has spirits. So if you see, negative behavior, negative characteristics from a person, that means that they have negative spirits. Okay? Now, this knowledge was known to the ancient people a long time ago. Even to just give a demonstration from Christianity in the Bible, it basically says the same thing, that, everyone has spirits, period. And some of them are negative and some are positive. And, when someone does something that you would consider evil or negative, that you need to be aware that it's not just the person doing it or behind it. There's actually a spirit that is influencing them to do that. Okay? So, you're still entitled and free to do what you will in that situation, but you do need to know and be aware and conscious of the fact that there is a spirit behind it. Okay? You have to really have discernment when you're getting into this practices and knowledge, because you need to learn how to differentiate what is your own will and your own actions your own words and actions based on your own will, your own thoughts based on your own will, versus what is coming in from a spirit trying to influence you. Okay? And like I said, this happens to all of us all the time. Okay? So it's nothing to fear. It's nothing to be intimidated by or judge either. Don't judge it, because it happens to all of us. And don't be scared of it, because it's already been happening to you, whether or not you've been aware of it or not. And it's already happening to everyone in this world. So it's not, something to be afraid of or to be intimidated by. But, you do need to be aware of this, aware of what's actually happening, what's actually going on, and thus you gain greater control and clarity over yourself and the situations that you will find yourself in, and the people that you will be engaged in relationships with or acquaintances with. Okay, so if someone has negative spiritual attachments and that is affecting you just by being around that person or having that person as part of your life, then you need to be aware of what it is that's happening, first of all, and then you need to make a decision. You need to take responsibility for that interaction and the consequences of it. If someone's negative spirits are influencing them to do negative things to you, and if that person isn't willing to take responsibility for that and change and do better, then you have to be the one that takes responsibility for, having that person in your life or not. Okay, because it's a package deal. Everyone comes with spirits, okay? Some of them are negative, some of them are good. And, if that person isn't conscious of their spirits and keeping them in check, or things like that, then, you have to be the one that is conscious of it and decides, am I going to let this person even be in my life then? Because their spirits will affect you just by having them in your life, because the spirits influence that person's words, thoughts, and actions constantly. Everyone has spirits. Everyone is influenced by spirits. So everything that we do will have a spirit behind it, whether that's our own or the spirits that are with us. So you have to take responsibility when it comes to your own life, what you allow in it. You have to take responsibility for being discerning of other people's spirits as well as your own. All right? So that's what spiritual attachments are. They enter your life. Once again, I'm covering the negative attachments here because that's what I get asked the most in the inbox. Spiritual attachments into your life through other people. Also through yourself, of course, because, you have to be the one that's conscious of what spirits you entertain or not in your own consciousness. And once you have that mastered, then the only way that negative spirits are going to enter your life and become a spiritual attachment to you is through other people that you are interacting with. Okay? If you're on high vibrations and high frequencies and you're highly conscious and discerning of your own self, then you're probably going to be someone who does not have negative spirit attachments personally, but they can still enter your life through other people that have them. These are the people that lower your vibrations. These are the people that have a lot of negative energy and bring a lot of negative energy to you, and conflict and challenge and stuff like that to your life and to you in the interactions and the relationships with them. And when they're also bringing negative spirits to you that can and will attach to you if you don't deal with that. So that's what I wanted to cover in this video. Just wanted to give you all some perspective on this, some understanding on it, and knowing this stuff is what gives you power and control over it. So I figured I would go ahead and do the video on that since so many people are asking about it, and that question just comes up in general during this time of year anyway. So I figured it's a good topic to cover. So yeah, when it comes to cleansing this kind of negative spirits from your life, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to what kind of consciousness are you entertaining, the thoughts and the inspirations that come into your own mind. We all have a choice to act on that or not, or to dismiss those thoughts. So, what spirits are you entertaining as a person will determine what spirits stay with you and what spirits you bring manifestation to this world by your words and actions. And then, what spirits are attached to the people that are in your life as well. The spirits that are attached to the people that you frequent, that you're frequently around and interact with. we can't limit, or rather, we can't perfectly control this 100%, because there's always going to be people that you interact with, whether that's at your job or in the grocery store, things like that. You're always going to have to interact with strangers or certain people at a certain level, but you can still be aware of the spirits that are with people, and being aware of them, by what I explained earlier, by someone's words and actions, you could tell what kind of spirits they have. So be aware of that, and thus be protected from it, because if you can tell that someone has negative spirits, you're not going to want to be around that person often. You're not going to want to be in close relationships with people who are like that. So just stay on top of that. In your own life. So when it comes to breaking spiritual attachments and stuff like that, once again, this is the knowledge that you need in order to do that. You need to be aware of it. You need to be aware of what's going on. You need to be aware of the source, whether that's you or another person that's in your life that has these negative spirits, and they're attaching to you by your proximity and interactions with that person. Dealing with that is going to be how you deal with the spiritual attachments themselves. Okay? So, I think that's going to be all for this video. Hopefully that answers a lot of questions that you may have about all this, and hopefully it raises your consciousness to a certain degree on how to deal with all of this and what all is actually going on in these types of situations. Okay? So thank you all for watching, and if you need to contact me for anything spiritual work, tarot readings, or crafting magical pieces, jewelry, talismans, or other ritual items, my information is in the description box below. And I also do courses on witchcraft and spirituality and magic and stuff like that. If you're interested in that, once again, also contact me through the description box, or leave a comment through the links in the description box, or leave a comment below and get in touch with me. And we can talk about my other courses and stuff like that I offer. So, hail to the witches, hail Hecate, and blessed be.